Spirit speaking, truth seeking, heart reaching, knowledge leaking, seeds sowing, harvest reaping, man of meager means. I have yet.
mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z.
Once again, this broadcast has been brought to you by mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z, where reading fundamental. Also brought to you by bindedbooks.com, where treasures are bound. Be sure to get all of your teas at My Son's Teas, the tea of teas, divinely prepared at herbsofmyaunt.com. Be sure to check out all of those musical stylings by Brian Hicks Bay at bhbaymusic.com. For your everyday items and religious regalia, be sure to check out morrishaberdasher.com. And for that everyday especial Morris drip, be sure to check out morsachi.com. And all of these companies are powered by ALO Design Pros. Design your online business strategy today.
No such thing as failure, baby. Don't forget who made you. You can't be thinking minor when you need to be thinking major. They made you think they saved you, but can't nobody save you. And
woke up, gave myself a hug. No love like self-love. I'm an aboriginal, not a settler. So what the fuck I wanna settle for? My soul was broken, I fixed it up. So what the fuck I wanna sell it for? Really, I just wanna better us. Me, myself, and I, we about to fly up into another pinnacle. It's nothing short of a miracle. I used to just wanna get rich as fuck. Now I just try to keep my spirits up. I say to myself in the mirror, you's a phenomenal nigga. I keep on repeating my mantra. I roll up my weed in the switch. I don't know if it's the pose of the portrait, but this is the perfectest picture. I see myself more than immortal. I guess it's just life, go figure. Wish I could go show Philip, cause Lord sure knows I miss him. But we gon' live forever, so that there don't make no difference. You fucking right. You fucking right. I can't love nobody till I love myself. I can love anybody once I love myself. I don't love everybody yet. I love myself. I can't be nobody else because I love I hope you love you. You say you love I love you too. See I love I hope you love you. You say you love I love you too. See, me is my woman, myself is myself, and I as my seed. I live by my word is only as good as my deed. Look at the past and strangers watching me bleed. Imprison myself, nah, I cannot see. How can that be? Tell me, who has helped me place this blindfold? Keeping my mind closed and my ears now open to them stories that time told forever and over again. Cause of within, when without and in doubt. I love nobody till I love myself. I can love anybody once I love myself. I don't love everybody yet. I love myself. I can't be nobody else because I love I hope you love you. You say you love I love you too. See I love I hope you love you. You say you love I love you too. You fucking right. You fucking right.
Peace, 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 peace. Peace, 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 peace. Peace and love, and welcome to another edition of the BBT Holy Day Book Club reading. I'm your host and noble, For today's reading, Noble Dante Smith-L, gratitude and love for all those tapping in to another BBT Holy Day Book Club reading. Shout out to the Noble Brian Hicks Bay with that intro music that you heard, 555, straight off of his debut album, Transportation of Raw Materials. You can get that from anywhere you buy music. Support the Noble. You know, some really great music. That's music out of the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. As you saw with the intro, you know, we do a little bit of everything. And on Friday nights, we like to bring to the people, you know, what we call our Holy Day Friday night book club reading. And at the BBT, you know, we are Moorish, American, Muslims, nobles, and empresses. We are not Negro, Black, colored, African American. That's over. The truth is here, and the truth shall make you free. So at the BBT, I'd like to start off with our Moorish American prayer before we get into our reading tonight. And tonight, we're going to continue on with our May book club reading series, where we're covering the subconscious mind and the conscious mind and consciousness and subconsciousness, introducing some to that, and you know, just giving those who already know who they are, you know, you're reading along with us as we present a different piece of science that covers, you know, the subconscious mind, subconsciousness, and consciousness. So please, you know, tap into us each and every Friday night on YouTube, on our Facebook page. We broadcast this show each and every Friday night on our YouTube and Facebook page at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 6 p.m. Arizona time if you're on the East Coast, 9 p.m. East Coast. So we have nobles all over the map, and you know, this is how we do the BBT. You know, we have the nobles everywhere. You know, and I'm in the middle of the map, and I'm happy to be here tonight, getting tagged in for another reading. So before we get started, we'll go ahead and do our Moorish American prayer. And it's like this: Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my God and my salvation by night and by day through the Holy Prophet, Noble Drew Ali, Shalom Aleichem, Ayah Asha'ayah, Islam, peace, light, and illumination. Islam Moors. Again, I'm Noble Dante Smith-L. For tonight's BBT Holy Day Book Club reading, I have something, you know, this week that will, you know, if you are new to the science, you know, new to this type of study, it will, you know, probably clarify a lot for you. And, you know, I hope it does. I've, you know, been studying a lot of this myself, just like all the nobles do. You know, as a student of the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School, we do a lot of studying. You know, when we grew up, there was a lot that when you were in school, when I was in school, there was a lot that we were told at school. You know, if you went to public school, there was a lot that we were told at school with these books that we were given. And some of us had home study at home where we were learning and understanding different things being taught to us at home. But a lot of us didn't. A lot of folks didn't. So a lot of what you got was from your public education system at your school. And, you know, a lot of, as I continue with being introduced to different things, different areas of study, what I discover is, you know, we were instructed wrong. You know, there was some truth to some things, but a lot of falsehood. And as you continue to study, you understand that's just how it is. You may have, there's truth, of course, truth is truth, but there may be sometimes, you know, truth and falsehood strangely mixed, you know, so you may get a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of both. But, you know, a lot of what you're introduced to in a school of thought like the Burning Bush Tabernacle is, a lot of what we're studying this month in the book club, subconscious consciousness, understanding who we are, man and God, understanding these concepts differently from what you were brought up learning as a child in your youth. You're being introduced to different ideas that you may have been taught in your youth or now as an adult or wherever you are. But, understanding that a lot of, some of those things, most of what those things were some falsehoods, some different things that, was explained to us in a way, continuing to confuse us, or continue to push us into that mental slavery, not really giving you the full understanding. Like, for instance, with things like transatlantic slave trade and slavery and things, you were told one piece to that story, but not the whole piece to the story. And that piece that you were told was a lie, in which our sheik here, Kyrie Goodman, Kyrie Goodman El Bay, he just recently did a lecture in which he debunked a lot of that from a European pen, from an Albion pen. But the history is there, that we were here, the misnomer blacks, African Americans, the Tartarian Moors. This was us here. So these are things that, we get at the Burning Bush Tabernacle as a student, as a member. There's obligations that we must honor. And then we're always, we're always being committed and consistent and communicate with all endeavors. And that's what you get here at the BBT. So I just wanted to go a little bit into some of that. But what I also wanted to do is, you may pose the question, Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple School, great, you guys are Moors. Why are you all doing a book club? Why do you do a book club and other things? Well, we do a lot of different things, but the book club is something that we do. We have a plethora of different businesses that we have in-house of the Burning Bush, in which we also provide books here. We have a full library here with millions of books, hundreds of thousands and millions of books that we have. Praise is due to our mapping guy, Sheik Kyrie Goodman. But we have that library here, and we are, for donation, we could provide you with any type of science that you're looking for. We do it in a couple different formats. Our primary format is mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z. mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z. And then we also have another platform. If you would like a physical copy of your book, you would like to take it with you and read a physical copy of it. With the first platform, we do digital downloads of PDFs, digital downloads. And with bindedbooks.com, that's bindedbooks.com, we can do a printed and what we say binded copy of the book. So we can print out the book and bind it for you. We have our own print and pressing machines, and we can send these books off to you through bindedbooks.com. So you can check out both of those sites. But with reading, we really want to impact the youth. We want to impact the youth with just encouraging the youth to want to learn different things that they didn't know, or different things that they knew, but learning a little bit more. Because right now in this day and age, they're introduced, or they're being raised through the social media age and the internet, and reading, whether it's a PDF or a physical copy, has just, it's going away from the culture in a sense. But the BBT, what we're trying to do, what one of our focuses is, we want to reveal the knowledge of all of this information that we have access to, and just make sure the youth understand why reading is important and understanding who you are. Reading books is important for expanding knowledge, enhancing mental well-being, improving communication skills, and promoting personal growth. It provides a source of enjoyment, allows exploration of different perspectives, and can even have physical benefits like stress reduction and better health. So, you know, there's tons of different benefits that one will receive by just reading more and just trying to understand yourself more. And that's one of the reasons why we do a book club. But obviously, like I mentioned, we have books for donation. So we want to reveal the books. If you visit those websites, you'll see a plethora of different books there that you've probably seen on Amazon and online. Very expensive prices for the books. Through donation here at the BBT, you can get that science from us at the BBT for a fraction of the cost. So, that's another reason why, as Moorish Americans, we study and we study ourselves to approved. And that's what we're bringing to the table. So if you're interested in our books, we will be providing this information at the bottom of the screen here, and we'll go over other information later on after the book reading. But with that being said, we will go ahead and get started with our book reading for tonight. Hope you all are still with me. I hope you all are still with me. At the BBT, we offer a synchronized path of learning, the Bernie Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School, Moorish Science with a map and a guide. We are inviting all family, friends, and true light seekers to invest in love. That's a $40 donation monthly. You can check out the information here. Spirit, mind, body, divine creed, and nationality. Our commitment to health and well-being focuses on the whole you and extends to exclusive benefits and perks from our business partners, making your association not just a transaction, but a relationship of growth. With us, you're not just a donor, you're part of a community that believes in enhancing lives and making each day exceptional by applied mathematics. Your generous $40 contribution to this cause will help to build a brighter, more enlightened community, one step closer to a world of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Become a monthly donor today. So please visit our website. That's bbtsciencetemple.com. That's bbtsciencetemple.com. Right there is a donate now button. If you are interested in supporting something that's real. All right, so let's get into it. Tonight, like I mentioned, and just so happened, Noble Alonzo brought this up to us. This is the month of May is Mental Health Month, and just so happened, right, we're doing the consciousness and subconscious in this series for the month of May in our book club reading series. And tonight's book that we're going to be reading an excerpt from is The Nature of Consciousness, Essays on the Unity of Mind and Matter by Rupert Spira. Rupert Spira, The Nature of Consciousness. Yeah, a lot of folks in scholarship, first century writers, older writers, this information is there. And I think, you should get a few books. And if you really want to understand yourself, and always find different books that you can read on yourself. We should understand ourselves and want to get to know ourselves. Instead of just one aspect of ourselves, we need to understand the whole self and how the unity plays a role in that. And with the nature of consciousness, we will be introduced to that a little bit further. So allow me a second to pull up the document here. All right. Just a second. Excuse that. All right, so we have it here. All right, and again, gratitude to everyone who's tuned in tonight for our BBT Holy Day Book Club reading on the nature of consciousness. All right. Peace and love to all those in attendance tonight as we do another book club reading. The nature of mind. All that is known or could ever be known is experience. Struggle as we may with the implications of this statement, we cannot legitimately deny it. Being all that could ever be known, expressed itself must be the test of reality. If we do not take experience as the test of reality, belief will be the only alternative. Experience and belief, or the way of the truth and the way of opinion. Let me go back. Experience and belief, or the way of truth and the way of opinion, as once expressed in the 5th century BCE, are the only two possibilities. All that is known is experience, and all that is known of experience is mind, M-I-N-D. By the word mind in the context, we don't just mean internal thoughts and images, as in common parlance. We mean all experience. This includes both our consensus reality, that is, the world that we know through the 5 sense perceptions. Mind thus includes all thinking, imagining, remembering, feeling, sensing, seeing, hearing, touching, tasting, and smelling. If all that could ever be known is experience, and all experience is known in the form of mind, then in order to know the nature or ultimate reality of anything that is known, it is first necessary to know the nature of mind. That is the first imperative of any mind that wishes to know the nature of reality, must be to investigate and know the reality of itself. Whether mind perceives a world outside of itself as it believed under the prevailing materialist paradigm, or projects the world within itself as is believed in the consciousness only approach suggested in this work, everything that is known or experienced is known or experienced through the medium of mind. As such, the mind imposes its own limits on everything that it sees or knows, and thus all its knowledge and experience appear as a reflection of its own limitations. It is for this reason that scientists will never discover the reality of the universe until they are willing to explore the nature of their own minds. Everything the world knows is a reflection of its own limitations, just as everything appears orange when we are wearing a pair of orange tinted glasses. Once we are accustomed to the orange glasses, orange becomes the new norm. The orange color we see seems to be an inherent property of consensus reality, and not simply a result of the limitations of the medium through which we perceive. In the same way, the mind's knowledge of anything is only as good as its knowledge of itself. Indeed, the mind's knowledge of things is a reflection and an extension of the knowledge of itself. Therefore, the highest knowledge a mind can attain is the knowledge of its own nature. All other knowledge is subordinate to and appears in accordance with the mind's knowledge of itself. In fact, until the mind knows its own essential nature, it cannot be sure that anything it knows or experiences is absolutely true or not simply a reflection of its own limitations. Thus, the knowledge of the ultimate nature of mind, through which all knowledge and experience are known, must be the foundation of all true knowledge. Therefore, the ultimate question the mind can ask is, what is the nature of mind? The common name that the mind gives to itself is I. Hence, we say, I am reading, I am thinking, I am seeing, and so on. For this reason, the question, what is the nature of mind, could be reformulated as, who or what am I? The answer to this question is the most profound knowledge that the mind can attain. It is the supreme intelligence. The question, what is the ultimate nature of the mind, or who or what am I, is the unique question, in that it is the only question that does not investigate the objective content of the mind, but rather the essential nature of the mind itself. For this reason, the answer to this question is also unique. The answer to any question about the objective content of the mind will always itself appear as objective knowledge. For example, the question, what is 2 plus 2? And for the answer, 4, are both objective contents of the mind. But the nature of the mind itself never appears in, nor can it be accurately described in the terms of objective knowledge, just as the screen never appears as an image in a movie. The mind recognition of its own essential nature is a different kind of knowledge, a knowledge that is the ultimate quest of all the great religious, spiritual, philosophical traditions, and that although we may not realize it, lies at the heart of each person, longing for peace, fulfillment, and love. Where to begin? As experience is all that could ever be known, we must start with experience. Where to begin? As experience is all that could ever be known, we must start with experience. Proceeding cautiously, like a scientist, trusting only our observation, doubting every belief and assertion, and only making statements that can be tested and verified by independent observers. If something is true for one person but not for another, it cannot be absolutely true. If there is an absolute truth, it must be true for all people, at all times, and under all circumstances. All right. And we'll pause for the cause right there. Thank you so much for tuning in to another BBT Holy Day Book Club reading with me, your host and reader for tonight's book club, Noble Dante Smith-El. We're going over the nature of consciousness, Islam and love to anyone in attendance. Information is at the bottom of the screen if you're interested. And this wisdom that we're going over tonight, any of the other documents that we'll go over, and anything that we provide on any of our book websites, that information is at the bottom of the screen. So let's get back into the book that we're reading tonight, The Nature of Consciousness. In its search for absolute truth, science rejects subjective experience on the grounds that it is a personal and therefore cannot be validated by anyone other than the person having the experience. For instance, a vision of the Virgin Mary may be true for one person, but many others who have not had the experience will consider it an illusion. However, science has made an error in rejecting all subjective experience on these grounds. For in the ultimate analysis, All experience is subjective. Therefore, it is not subjective experience, but rather personal, exclusive, or idiosyncratic experience that should be rejected as evidence of absolute reality. So we could refine the ultimate question as, is there any element of subjective experience that is universal or shared by all? Or if the mind only ever knows its own contents, is there any element of the mind's knowledge or experience that is common to all minds? The knowledge alone, or that knowledge alone, will qualify as absolute truth, and therefore that knowledge alone will serve as the basis of a unified humanity. Let us agree that there is experience, and that experience must be the test of reality. Our experience consists of thoughts, images, memories, ideas, feelings, desires, intuition, sensations, sights, sounds, tastes, textures, smells, and so on. And each of these is known. It is not possible to have a thought, feeling, sensation, or perception without knowing it. Right? He said, it is not possible to have a thought, feeling, you feeling something, or a sensation, or perception without knowing it. What sort of experience would be one that is not known? It would not be an experience. Thus, we can say for certain that there is experience and that experience is known, even though we may not be, or we may not know exactly what experience is, nor who or what it is that knows it. All experience, thoughts, feelings, sensations, and perceptions has objective qualities. That is, qualities that can be observed or measured in some way, have a name or a form, and appear in time or space. It is in this context that I refer to everything in objective experience as objects. Be those objects apparently physical, such as tables, chairs, trees, and fields, or mental, such as thoughts, images, memories, or feelings. As such, all objective experience has a form in time or space, and having a form means it has a limit. But with what is all objective experience known? A thought cannot know a sensation, and a sensation cannot feel a perception. A perception cannot see a feeling. A feeling cannot know an image, and an image cannot experience a memory. Thoughts, sensations, perceptions, feelings, images, and memories are known or experienced. They do not know or experience. Whatever it is that knows objective experience can never itself be known or experienced objectively. It can never be known or observed as an object. It is the knowing element in all knowledge, the experiencing in all experience. We could say that the mind consists of two elements, its known content and its knowing essence. However, these elements are not actually two separate, discrete entities, and later we will collapse this distinction. They're not actually two separate. The common name for the knowing or experiencing essence of the mind is I. I is the name we give to whatever it is that knows or is aware of all knowledge and experience. That is I. Is the name of the mind, is the name that the mind gives to itself in order to indicate its essential knowing essence in the midst of all its changing knowledge and experience. I am that which knows or is aware of all experience, but I am not myself on experience. I am aware of thoughts, but am not myself a thought. I am aware of feelings and sensations, but am not myself a feeling or sensation. I am aware of perceptions, but am not myself a perception. Whatever the content of experience, I know or am aware of it. Thus, knowing or being aware is the essential element in all knowledge, the common factor in all experience. I refers to the knowing or aware element that remains present throughout all knowledge and experience, irrespective of the content of the known or experience. Whatever is it that knows the thought 2 plus 2 equals 4 is the same knowing that knows the thought 2 plus 2 equals 5. You catch that? Whatever it is that knows the thought 2 plus 2 equals 4 is the same knowing that knows the thought 2 plus 2 equals 5. The two thoughts differ and are as such amongst the continually changing objects of experience, but each is known by the same knowing subject, irrespective of the fact that one is true and the other is false. Woo, getting good. Like we said, reading funds the mental. Reading funds the mental. Islam and gratitude to all those tuned in tonight to our Friday night Holy Day BBT Book Club reading. This month of May, Mental Health Month, we are covering the consciousness and subconsciousness books. So each and every Friday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Arizona time. You can check us out live on the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School YouTube and Facebook page each and every Friday night. On tonight's show, book reading, we're covering the nature of consciousness. So glad to be with you tonight. Again, my name is Noble Dante Schmidl. The nature of consciousness. We got a little bit more to go with this book. And again, if you would like this book or any of the books that we're offering at buyingthebooks.com or mypdfbooks.com, that's books with a Z, please visit our websites. We have a plethora of different businesses within the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. We are a temple and a school. We do the BBT Book Club on Friday nights. Tonight presented by bindedbooks.com. If you would like this book or any of the other books, print it and bind it and send off to you. Information is at the bottom of the screen. We'll also have information for donation at the end of the reading tonight. So we'll get back to our reading. So whatever it is that knows the feeling of depression is the same knowing that knows the feeling of joy. The two feelings are different, but are known by the same knowing subject, irrespective of the quality of the feeling. The feelings of depression and joy may alternate, but the knowing with which they are known remains continuously present throughout their changings. Whatever it is that knows the sound of bird song is the same knowing that knows the sound of traffic. The two perceptions differ, and each comes and goes, but they are known alike by the same unchanging, subjective essence of all changing experience. The name I denotes that knowing essence that is common to all knowing and experience. I am pure knowing, independent of the content of the known. I am the knowing with which all experience is known. I am the experience of being aware or awareness itself, which knows the underlies all experience. Pure knowing, being aware or awareness itself is the essential ingredient of mind. The ever-present subjective knowing essence of the mind, independent of its always changing, objective content of thoughts, feelings, sensations, and perceptions. Being aware or awareness itself is the knowing and all that is known, the experiencing and all experience. All minds refer to themselves as I. Our names are the names that our parents give to us, but I is the name that the mind gives to itself. Whatever the mind is experiencing, it knows itself as the I that is experiencing it. Throughout the day, the mind says, I am thinking, I am hungry, I am cold, I am lonely, I am tired, I am traveling to work, I am 45 years old, and so on. Just things. As such, the mind consists of a continuous flow of changing thoughts, images, sensations, and perceptions. However, there is one element of the mind, the feeling of being or the experience of being aware, that runs continuously throughout all changing experience. If instead of being interested in the continuous flow of changing thoughts, images, sensations, and perceptions, the mind becomes interested in its own essential nature, it will discover that the feeling of being or the experience of being aware is the common factor in all experience, but does not share the particular qualities, characteristics, or limitations of any particular experience. All the qualities, characteristics, and limitations of experience are temporary and ever-changing colorings or modulations of mind, but not its essential, irreducible nature. In other words, as a first step towards realizing the essential, irreducible nature of the mind, we separate out the permanent element of experience from its changing forms. We separate out the experience of being aware from what we are aware of. I is the formless or non-objective presence of pure knowing, being aware or awareness itself, which is temporarily colored by the qualities of experience, but not inherently limited by them. I am aware, I am aware, I am aware, runs ever present throughout all experience. As such, I is the knowing or aware element that underlies and permeates all experience. All objective experience changes continually. Thoughts, feelings, sensations, and perceptions are in a constant state of flux. A thought is by definition always flowing, a feeling always evolving, a sensation always pulsating, and a perception always changing, albeit at times imperceptibly slowly. In fact, later we will see that we never actually experience a discrete object such as a thought, feeling, sensation, or perception, let alone a mind, body, or world. But for the time being, we will just agree that all experience continually changes. However, each changing thought, feeling, sensation, or perception is registered by the same knowing I, the common elements in all experience. The knowing I that is seeing or knowing these words is the same knowing I that was knowing or aware of whatever I was experiencing an hour ago, or last week, or month, or year, or 10 years. The knowing I, consciousness or awareness itself, is the common ingredient in all experience. It remains the same throughout all experience. Each of us feels that we have always been the same person, although the experience of the body and mind, which we normally consider to be ourself, is continually changing. All we know or experience of the body are changing sensations and perceptions. And all we know of our mind is a flow of concepts, images, and feelings. In fact, the body never knows itself as I. It is the mind that calls itself I. So when I say we have always been the same person, I mean that the mind recognizes that there is something in its own experience of itself that always remains the same. Thus, although everything we have ever identified as ourself has changed innumerable times in our lives, each of us feels that there is some part of ourself that remains consistently present throughout all experience. When we say I today, we refer to the same I that we were 2 days ago, or 2 years, or 20 years ago. What part of our experience of ourself accounts for the feeling of always being the same person? What is it in our experience of ourself that always remains the same? Only the knowing with which all changing knowledge and experience are known. Only the experience of being aware or awareness itself. Only I. The known or experience always changes, but the knowing with which all changing experience is known always remains the same. When we were 5 years old, girls or boys, the experience of our parents' home and garden was known. As a 10-year-old child, the experience of our friends, teachers, and classrooms was known. As a teenager, our first kiss, our studies, and the parties that we went to were known. As an adult, our achievements and activities and relationships are always known. The current experience, these words, the thoughts and feelings they provoke, sensations of the body and perceptions of the world are being known, or experience is known. Experience never ceases to change, but I, the knowing element in all experience, never itself changes. The knowing with which all experience is known is always the same knowing. Its condition or essential nature never changes. It is never modified by what it knows, being the common, unchanging element in all experience. Knowing, being aware, and awareness itself does not share the qualities or therefore the limitations of any particular experience. It is not mixed with the limitations that characterize objective experience. It is, as such, unqualified, unconditioned, and unlimited. The knowing with which a feeling of loneliness or sorrow is known is the same knowing in which the thought of a friend, the sight of a sunset, or the taste of ice cream is known. The knowing with which enthusiasm or exuberance is known is the same knowing that knows our darkest feelings and moods. The objective element of experience always changes. The subjective element never changes. The known always changes. Knowing never changes. This knowing I, the experience of simply being aware or awareness itself, is never itself either exuberant or sorrowful. Being the common element in both experiences, it is not qualified, conditioned, or limited by either. In both experiences, indeed in all experience, it remains in the same pristine condition without qualification or limitation. The knowing with which exuberance or sorrow is known is not itself changed, moved, harmed, or stained by the exuberance or sorrow itself. When the exuberance or sorrow passes, the same knowing remains present to know or be aware of the next object of experience, be it in the thought of a friend, the sight of a sunset, or the taste of ice cream. Nothing ever happens to the knowing with which all experience is known. It is not enhanced or diminished by anything that it knows or experiences. When a feeling of sorrow appears, nothing is added to the knowing with which the sorrow is known. When the sorrow leaves, nothing is taken away from it. If any thought, feeling, sensation, or perception were identical to our essential nature, of pure knowing, then every time a thought, feeling, sensation, or perception disappeared, we would feel that a little bit of ourself disappeared with it. Indeed, if thought, sensation, perception were inherent to the essential nature of mind or pure knowing, it would not be possible for a thought, sensation, or perception to appear. Because what is essential to mind must always and already be present within it as it. Therefore, the essential nature of mind does not appear or disappear. It has no beginning or end. Okay, so the essential nature of mind does not appear or disappear. It has no beginning or end. It was not born and will not die, per se. We always feel essentially the same whole, indivisible, consistently present person. Only we mistake the essential nature of that person. Although innumerable thoughts, feelings, sensations, and perceptions are added to us and subsequently removed from us during the course of our lives, the person or self that we essentially are remains always the same. That is, pure knowing, the essence of mind, I, always remains in the same pristine condition. Exuberance, enthusiasm, sorrow, loneliness, the thought of a friend, the taste of ice cream, and so on, are not separate from the knowing of them, not separate from I, but neither are they identical to it. The knowing with which all experience is known is the experience as a self-aware screen would be in a movie. That is a magical screen. That is watching the movie that it is playing upon it. The movie is not separate from the screen, nor is it identical to it. Our changing thoughts, feelings, sensations, and perceptions color our essential being of pure knowing or awareness itself, but they do not modify, qualify, condition, or limit it, nor are they identical to it. It is for this reason that the essential nature of mind is said to be pure knowing or pure awareness. Pure in this context means unmixed with any of the qualities, conditions, or limitations that it knows or is aware of, just as the screen is not inherently mixed with any of the limited forms that appear in a movie. The essential nature of mind, that experience of being aware, pure knowing or awareness itself, is inherently unconditioned and unlimited. And as we close, likewise, just as a screen is never disturbed by the drama in a movie, so pure knowing, being aware, or awareness itself is never disturbed by experience. And thus it is inherently imputable or peaceful. The peace that is inherent in us, indeed, that is us, is not dependent on the content of experience, the circumstances, situations, or conditions we find ourselves in. It is a peace that is prior to and at the same time present in the fluctuations of the mind. As such, it is said to be the peace that passeth understanding. And with that, we're going to wrap that up right there. The nature of consciousness. Definitely a lot there. If you never heard or did a deep dive study into the consciousness or the subconscious or anything like that, I think this one definitely introduces you to different concepts, like we were stating, the known and the essence of knowing, the consciousness and subconsciousness, the different mechanisms that we have. You know, you have the pineal and the pituitary gland, left and right side of the brains. You know, you have the message, the messenger, a creator, and the creation. So the consciousness and subconsciousness, as above, so below, different things that you're introduced to in this type of research, in which we will be going over topics just like this, books just like this, where you'll be introduced to consciousness and subconsciousness and those and some of those ideas. Here at the BBT, we offer a plethora of different books on this subject, and you do have many books that I have here tonight that you can get in a book bundle of books covering the conscious and subconscious. Here's one here, Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life by Brian Tracy. Is one book here that we have. Another one, The Magic of the Mind. So many different scholars in history, just presenting themselves and who we are and how we function within. The Master Key System was a book that we opened this series with. That's available there. Atom Smashing Powers of the Mind. You can get this one here as well, part of our book bundle for today's book club reading. Also, The Miracles of Your Mind is available. And of course, what we've been going over tonight, The Nature of Consciousness, is available. All right, the essays on the unity of mind and matter is also available. Gratitude again so much for being in attendance of our book club. You know, book clubs are important. Our goal is definitely to impact our youth. You know, impact the youth. Number one, impact the youth. Number one is what the goal is. So, if you are a school in any local community, and you would want these book club readings done at your school or your function for your children, if you're having any function, you would like any books that we may have sent to you, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. I'll give you that information in just a second. But, you know, with the BBT and the Sheikah Art Temple, Sheikh Kari Goodman El Bay, just powerful, you know, information that she is bringing to these communities each and every day, you know, and as muftis of the BBT, you know, that is our same goal and mission as well. So if you would like to donate to the BBT, please donate via Zelle at number 602-473-8767. That's Zelle 602-473-8767. You can also visit our website at bbtsciencetemple.com. That's bbtsciencetemple.com. Like we did earlier, remember $40 monthly donation if you want to support something real, support an organization trying to uplift fallen humanity. That's bbtsciencetemple.com, a $40 monthly donation. Also, for a $40 donation, you could receive those books, all of the books that we covered in our bundle today. bbtsciencetemple.com. Don't hesitate to subscribe to our Facebook and YouTube page at Burning Bush Tabernacle. Hit that notification bell for alerts and updates. And if you would like any of the books gone over tonight, or any books that we have at the BBT, we have an email. You can contact us at burningbushtabernacle.ts@gmail.com. That's burningbushtabernacle.ts@gmail.com for all book inquiries or questions about the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School and what we're doing, our Sheep, Curry, Goodman, El Bay, and everything that we're doing. We're also, we have aspirations and a mission right now. We have a mission right now with the BBT to have another brick and mortar. So we are doing a building fund raising right now. So again, if you are interested in supporting something real, Sheep Curry Goodman, he's put in the work. He's gone through the fire. He's a mapping guide, proper mapping guide, is ready to uplift his people. You can please send an email for your building fund donation contribution, which is tax exempt, with us being a tax exempt from the federal government organization. We are tax exempt, and you can receive and will receive a tax exempt receipt from Sheep Curry Goodman and the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. All donations to the BBT are tax exempt. So it's something that you want to do, something that we can do, is help our community and organizations whose goals are to uplift the community. Again, that's burningbushtabernacle.ts@gmail.com for all questions on donations, questions about the Burning Bush Tabernacle, joining our school, being a guest for any of our classes, or being a guest in any of our workouts. You can contact our email, and please do so. So again, I appreciate you so much for tuning in to our BBT Holy Day Book Club reading, The Nature of Consciousness, with me, Noble Dantes Minthel. It was a pleasure to hold it down tonight. And as we end, we will go over our Moorish American prayer, and we out of here. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is our protector, our guide, and our salvation by night and by day, through the Holy Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Shalom, Alakim, Ayat Asha'ayat, Islam, Amen, peace, light, love, and illumination. Islam.
I'm a spirit speaking, truth seeking, heart reaching, knowledge leaking, seeds sowing, harvest reaping, man of meager means. I have yet to leave, I'm still breathing. To quit, I have no reason. I mean, I'm asleep, but I be trying to live my dreams. I cannot even act if it's all easy. Either you gon' do it or you don't. Really, it ain't no in between. Baby, you can ask the sun, it's an everyday theme. Consistency in your routine is how you bring reality. Working like a slave, that's how I made this masterpiece. Living like a god, I lay at night, I rest in peace. They remember me, but I am not Haram or beef. I'm a spirit speaking, truth seeking, heart reaching, knowledge leaking, seeds sowing, harvest reaping, man of meager means. I have yet.
mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z.
Once again, this broadcast has been brought to you by mypdfbooks.com. That's books with a Z, where reading fundamental. Also brought to you by bindedbooks.com, where treasures are bound. Be sure to get all of your teas at My Son's Teas, the tea of teas, divinely prepared, at herbsofmyaunt.com. Be sure to check out all of those musical stylings by Brian Hicks Spade at bhspademusic.com. For your everyday items and religious regalia, be sure to check out morrishaberdasher.com. And for that everyday especial have more strip, be sure to check out moresachi.com. And all of these companies are powered by ALO Design Pros. Design your online business strategy today.
No such thing as failure, baby. Don't forget who made you. You can't be thinking minor when you need to be thinking major. They made you think they saved you, but it can't